Boom. Okay. Hi, you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and, as you can see, I have my whole little pageant corner in the corner. Um, I'm gonna go and move the lighting over here, and then I'm gonna get back and talk. I actually was on my way to go to bed, but after I did this whole, after I did this presentation, it got me to thinking about a lot of things that people don't have in the right mind frame. Okay. Um, when it comes to pageants and things like that. So I'm not gonna say excuse me because this is how I look, and if you don't like it, feel free to change the channel. Um, Today I wanted to talk about my views on pageantry, and that's just basically because it has turned full circle in my life. So that picture you see is not my actual winning from this pageant. It was from previous pageants years ago. Um, But I like that one because it showed a more vulnerable side of myself versus, the painted up poof big thing. Um yeah, and I just wanted to talk about that. So I just got finished doing a podcast with a group of ladies from the organization that I currently represent now, and they were just expressing the importance of pageantry. So as I was um, in the dialogue on the panel, talking and listening and everything else, um, what I did get was a sense of this is one way versus this is the other way, and this way is better versus because it accepts everything and everyone. And it's like, okay, like, how is that even right? First of all, I would say that there is a pageant for every single person, okay? Anything you can think of, they have pageants for it. And if they don't, you can recreate it. But to this date, we have over 3,000 pageants in our country dealing with everything humanitarian, physical fitness, donuts, nude, all types of pageants, okay? So, with that being said, who's to say one is better than the other? You have to find out what works for you. One of the big things that I noticed during this whole thing is that people will um use double standards when it deals with beauty pageants. um for example, if someone is in a fitness, they in a beauty pageant and they're using a fitness routine, and they might have to wear a swimsuit for the swimsuit competition. They might have a swimsuit competition. There are a lot of people that are opposed to that. That's fine. But then there are also people who will sit there and dog these people and say that that is sexist, and that's making a woman feel low, like she's an object. But then these same people will go and parade around the street butt naked. I've literally seen this happen, or go around and they're half wearing clothes. They are not even representing anything other than I'm doing this because I feel like it, and people are gawking at them and they're saying, well, I shouldn't be judged because I'm empowering myself. And I'm like, for me, it's like you should be able to dress the way you want to dress. But think about it as a pageant. Why would you downgrade somebody who has done the work? Because basically, if you're in a bathing suit, either you're very confident or you've done the work. Most people aren't going to just get in a bathing suit if they haven't done the work on themselves. And there are also people who are in bathing suits who are not fitness goal oriented. There are people who are in the curvy on the plus size sections, and they have bathing suit competitions, and no one goes against those. But if you're in a fitness and a beauty, competition, and it's going towards a more lean fit, traditional look, then it's like okay, well, they're pushing too much pressure on beauty standards. And I think of it as this, okay? Different strokes for different folks. If this is the place that you want to be in, understand that everything has prerequisites, everything has rules and standards. And you have to either go by them or leave and create your own. Leave or just create your own. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer to that. And I just really felt some type of way, um, with that. Another thing that they didn't, that's a double standard, is that there are a lot of people who would do 3 and 4 pageants and they would win. Oh, shoot, excuse me. They would win 3 or 4 titles consecutively in the same year and will have to work and fulfill those duties within a year. Now, that is very demanding. But there are a lot of people who don't like that. A lot of pageant coaches that or directors that don't like that. For one, you're splitting your time and your obligation with different other um, um, entities, which it is kind of tough. But there's some people who can't handle it. For me, while I think that you should do one at a time until it gets to a point where you're all one per year as far as that reigning, if it's dealing with service and you have to do a lot of service with it, because the multiple hats dealing with pageantry is very extremely difficult. I know for me. Now there are some people who are able and willing to do that, and that is perfectly fine. But for me, I would not do that because I have a lot of other projects myself, and my gift is not just going into pageantry, but it's speaking to things that I'm connected to. So anything that I'm doing pageant wise, I'm always connecting it to what I stand for, what my businesses are, which is something I stand for. The community service works that I do, which is something I stand for. So it's a full around circle. So I feel like I couldn't do that, in those fields back to back. But there are some people who can do that. What else? There were a couple of things that I couldn't even express during this discussion. It was a great discussion. It did last quite a bit long. Usually it's between 30 and 45 minutes, and it was twice that amount of time. But there were so many things that I had to grasp and understand and to think of while I was there. And I was like, what if somebody's thinking about this? Um, and they asked me what was the things that I remember, or the best thing, the best advice that I could give. I talked about how the journey that you go through is with you, not with your other competitors, not the people that you compete with, because you're an individual. So you want to be the best person or the best version that you could be at that particular time. You're not looking at anybody else. If you did the work for yourself and the self development and that self growth, it's going to show, and it's going to be unique. If you did it to tailor you, you're showing your version to the world. That's what you're doing in pageantry. It's not like um basketball where it's a whole team effort and it's like, that kind of thing. Or um well, I take that back. It can be kind of like basketball a little bit because they have separate positions. um But as far as pageantry, you're showing what your best skills are. That's what you're showing. You're not gonna always be perfect in everything. You're not gonna always be the best at everything. And I can honestly tell you that the best and sometimes the director's choice. I've seen that time and time again, y'all. Like the director's choice don't even make the cut. Um, you guys see a lot of people who like congeniality. You look at those things, you see those, they don't even make, some of those people don't even make the top 10 or the top 5 in a lot of pageants, or make the running. So it's working on you. It's working on you. Um, the other thing that I couldn't say is that everyone's perception is different. Everyone's perception is different. And you have to understand that someone else's perception of you does not define you, okay? Someone else's perception of you does not define you. There were some people, and I could not, I felt like I couldn't say that because it felt horrid, but it showed in the presentation, and I was like, maybe because I'm dealing with behaviors and I'm so in tune with focusing that and seeing that all the time that maybe I'm just over focused. But that was not the case, okay? There are some people who are just not going to like you. They're going to go with other people. Some people will go to someone that they don't like and that don't like you in order to get you upset. So um not to say that that totally happened to me, but yeah, there are some people who are just not gonna like you, and there's some people who just not gonna like you because they don't know. They just don't know why. They just don't. They don't give you an opportunity. There's some people who give you an opportunity to say, "Hey, well, we don't, collide together." So I want you guys to take that with a grain of salt. Understand that, but take their opinions, take their views, how they're acting to you as a grain of salt. As a grain of salt. Um, okay. Because the reason why I say this is because you are you. Those people, you might not even see them after a good minute. It would be great if you keep connections, but honestly, you don't want to have a connection that you have with someone. You just don't, or someone who, thinks of you as less, or who's going to treat you less than you would like to be treated. So don't take that personal. If you're working on yourself, you're constantly shifting and changing and making yourself better. So these people might be just a small transition. They might just be a transitional phase, to get you to the next spot. So don't take that. Don't take that as personal. I was taking that as personal very much when I first got into pageantry. Not only that, in the relationships that I had in my daily life. And once I understood what that was, and I understood jealousy, I understood the fear of difference, um, the fear of being different, and the what comes along with the territory of standing out, which poses a threat to the norm. I was okay with it. See, when you go past the norm, you're being attacked because you're not doing what everyone else is doing. Okay. And people fear that. So then they're going to try to attack you. Then when that doesn't work and they see that it's not working, then they're going to try to mimic you. So keep that in mind. Don't get upset. Don't get bothered. Just keep going. Um, what else? Um, there are some people who um I don't want to seem like it's negative because it's really not. The things that I'm telling you, it's not. It's just things to be eye opening for. And if you understand that it's there, then you'll be more able to navigate through it and get past it. Okay. There are some people who, because you won and they didn't, they'll say that they're happy for you. Excuse me, but their actions will speak louder than their words. Okay. Prime example, I had this one individual who was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna help you," which I wasn't looking for the help or anything. Asked me to support their cause and just did some really shady things. Act like they couldn't spell my name right on banners. Even though I didn't ask for the banners. Um, Tried to cut me off, didn't put me on the program. As a guest speaker, or put me on the program as we're doing a parade after they'd spoken to me months before. This you get ready for the shade. Get ready for the shade, okay? Um, when you understand that and you get that in your head and you see it for what it is, then you'll be more adapt and you'll be better able to assess the situation and deal with it for what it is. You'll be able to say, okay, this person has done me wrong. Um, for me, I had to calm myself down. I had to learn how to um, see and not react. You know, um, and just be like, you know what? Okay, I see that you've done this. Next time you want to have a fellowship, I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna come next time you have a fellowship. You asked me to fellowship with you or to help you with your project or anything because I didn't get any gains from it anyway. I was just helping to support you, and you were silently throwing shade at me. Guess what? When that happens, or when you really do need me, guess what? I won't be there. I won't be there. So, and you will know why. I don't have to be mean or vicious. I'm not going to take myself out of that element. Okay. So that's what y'all going to have to do. That's what you're going to have to learn um, during pageantry. The main thing I kept telling people, like, I didn't get to say this in the recording because I think they're going to take it out. The main thing I wanted to tell people, like, because they were acting like they kept asking me, "Oh, was this pageant system really, really nice? Like, all the people were friendly. Most of it was, the people were very, very friendly for the most part. And that's how I categorize it. That's how I put it out, and that was my viewpoint. There were a lot of people who said it was beautiful, it was this, it was that. That's their viewpoint. What I really want people to understand is that it does not matter, it does not matter, because you're going there with a goal, whatever goal it is. It might be to get an employment opportunity, get other opportunities to further your career. It might be to network. It might be to get the crown. It might be all of that. You have to stay focused on your goal. It's just like a job. A pageant is just like a job. So once you win it, um, you have to go about it the same way. But don't worry what people say, what people do. That's just like a job. Would you care about somebody saying all this stuff about you if you getting a check? No. Some of the things might hurt. You might block it out, but it's a job. Once you get that job, it's different, and it's different from most jobs because you don't have to see that person again. You really don't. You can separate. Like, okay, all right, we see what kind of person you are. I'm gonna separate and I'm gonna keep going. You know. So don't look at it as that. Talking about jobs, them horses are going. Speaking about jobs, okay. When I say a pageant is a job, don't expect, if you're not invested in a pageant or a pageant system and you're not planning to invest in it, don't expect to win. Um, don't expect to win, because why would somebody throw their pearls to swine to somebody who's going to stumble all over what they worked hard for? You have to understand that some of these people have worked from the ground up. If it's been decades in this larger pageant, this has been years and decades of people pouring in their hearts and their lives and their livelihood into these systems, and you're just coming up, whether you got talent or not. If you don't have any care for it, or you're not going to treat it with respect and dignity that is needed, then don't expect to win. Don't expect to win. Prime example, um, one of the people were talking about how, who is the top? Was talking about how they went to this pageant, and they went to a couple of pageants, like within the 3 years back to back, and why they kept, and they went to the same pageant system. The last pageant system, they went there 3 times, so it was a total of six. No, one, two, three. No, total of five, because it was two other pageants, then that pageant 3 years. Okay, so it was three different pageants, but the last one was three, so there's five. Went and did this pageant, and every time they lost, and they didn't understand why. Okay, think about a test. Okay, think about a test. Oh yeah, think about a test. I'll do the test analogy, and I'll do the interview analogy. Okay. If you had a test, you knew you had a test, right? You knew nothing about the situation, the test, but you knew it was something that you were kind of familiar with. So you just didn't practice, and you did the test and you failed. When you go back, you don't read the book, you don't try to find out more information on it, you don't ask anybody about the questions on the text, you don't look for a pre-test, anything like that. You go and take the test again and you fail. Then after that, you see that you failed. Don't look at your mistakes. Don't find out what your mistakes are, because you don't know what's on the test. You don't remember the test. It's the same thing. So you go back and do the same exact thing and you fail again. Does that sound smart? No. That's the same thing that this person was doing with this with pageantry, and it was like, how? Now I'm not gonna say that that always happens, because there are some pageant systems that are so packed. They'll have these women, a lot of women. They have some pageants with men, but these women who will be in the same pageant system because it's so tough and the quality is so tough that they have to go back every year. So everybody's on that A game. But in majority of the pageants, and the older you get, you start noticing um that you can stagger a little bit. Some of them still are like that. If you get into the I want to say about 49, 50 age, that's when it gets really tough too. Um, you see a lot of people who are beautiful around that time. I don't know what happens. Like they regenerate something. They got some freaking healing skin or something. So, um, yeah. So, anyhow, why would you not prepare? You know you're coming back. You didn't win, so why wouldn't you go and pretest? Why wouldn't you get as much information as you can? Why wouldn't you talk to someone who's been through that stage and talk to them and see what was going on? Some of the things um, that they were forgetting about was the ABCs of pageantry. A pageant walk, um, connecting with someone who's familiar with the pageant. I talked about that a lot because I was like, there are standards and there are rules to different pageant walks, especially based off of age. But if you're in certain systems, because things are dealing with more relevance now, they're trying to get more relevant. Some people don't even have the qualifications, or they don't put a lot of focus on the different styles. But if you come into a traditional pageant, understand that some of the poses make a difference. Some of those poses make a true difference, and that can be a difference between you winning or you coming next runner up. It might not look like a huge difference, but it will make a difference. If it's um a tight range. So those were some of the things that people were forgetting. That walk, the dress, things that complement your face and your skin. Um, so if you were, and I'm a neutral warm naturally. For me, my go-to dress is a yellow. I always look very, very good at yellow. I'm very comfortable at yellow, but there are other colors that really stand out for me. But if I'm doing something myself and I'm in a pageant and I don't have you know um all the backings and things like that. You know what my number one color is? I'm gonna go with yellow because I'm confident. I know that color is for me. Shape size. There were people who were different sizes, but they did not understand what shape size mean. What's the shape of your dress? Is it a heart shape? Are you a triangle? Are you a rectangle? Are you a circle? Are you an oval? Are you a square? You need to know these things in order to be your best self. If you're wearing warmer colors, is your hair too dark? Um, if your hair, for me, I one thing I wish I would have done was to warm my hair up a little bit. I did have on a wig, but it was definitely black. But I stayed with that black and just slightly warmed up my face. Um, I knew that I didn't really have a lot of time to go and supply that, and the person that was supposed to do my hair, which the color for the bundles were going to be that color, but I didn't have that time. I had less than 5 weeks, so and my hairstylist literally changed the date on me, so literally had to go with a wig. So next time I was like, okay, I will get the color that's close to I will get that and get prepared. Um, Yeah, those things, highlighters, things that highlight your face really, really well. Do you have yellow tints? Are you a cool tint? I'm a neutral warm, so I have like, yellow and orange kind of tints. There are some people who have a red tints. Now I can do a red, but naturally it's that yellow warm kind of. Are you a rose type of tint? Because it's neutral, I can do quite a bit, but it's neutral warm. It's not neutral cool. It's not neutral. Neutral warm. Um, so yeah, if you're a total warm, are you putting colors on your face that's making you look like Bozo the Clown. Or if you are cool, are you putting warm colors all on your face and it's making you just look out of touch, making you pop out in certain things. So those were a lot of things that people were doing. And I noticed that even myself, I would, some of those things that make a difference in pageantry. Um, what else did they talk about? They talked about service, but I can honestly say, I can honestly say that with most pageants, almost all of them are service. Almost all of them are service. There are some that's just beauty, and if it's just beauty and not service, they usually have a lot of money attached to it. Um, Oh yeah, that was the other thing. And don't get so hyped up by the ones that you see on TV and then just assume that every single one is like that, because it's not. Okay, most of those ones are on TV are funded by a lot of people. They'll say, "Oh yeah, they got 100." Y'all have seen the last one. Okay, I'm not going to say which one, but I'm put it out there. Okay, got all this scholarship money, and it's like, okay, that sounds good, but think about all the money that they've invested, because all of them didn't have all sponsors, for everything. There's still a lot of money to come out of pocket for that, So think of it that way. You just have to find things um that go with that. But yeah, the color of your skin tone, the color of the dress, the size, the shape of your body, according to the kind of dress you should wear. If you have bold shoulders, do not wear dresses that goes like this. Also, if you are 60, 70 years old and you're wearing a dress that looks like it's for a little toddler, it's not going to be a good look most of the time. There are some people who can pull some of that stuff off, but for the most part, you want to have dresses that are age appropriate. Um, what else? I think that was kind of about it. I think what else did I say? Age appropriate. Take the pageant, whatever system you're in, take it as a job. When you take it as a job, it goes a little bit different. Your mindset changes. People who think that, oh yeah, I just won and it's over, they really don't see a lot of results behind it. If you take it as a job or as a platform to promote your platform and to promote yourself, you will see a lot of exponential growth in return. So, and that's the biggest thing, because you have to understand that a pageant reign only lasts for 1 year, unless COVID happens again and it's 2 years. So, um, which I don't hope that it happens for anyone, because I know there's other people who want to take a turn. It would be good, like, yeah, but just remember that. I think that is about it. Hopefully, you guys got something out of that. This was a very, very light topic. Um, I thought about having a light topic on here because all of my other things are very, very deep. Um, and yeah, I just thought about lightening up the mood and um, talking about something else that is on my heart, that is really not grinding my gears, but it's just really, really on my heart. And I thought that if I share it, that other people wouldn't be so afraid to go and do that, because pageantry really helped me a lot. It got me out of my box. It got me out of my shell. It was a safe place for me. A lot of people like sports. I used to be very active in sports, but my favorite sport was actually volleyball, which I didn't even get to play towards most part of my high school because I had to do a lot of academics. So that, and I love walking. I always walk like a beauty queen. Most people always say that I walk like a beauty queen and I run like a horse. So um you're really kind of graceful kind of thing. So um yeah, yeah, that's what I wanted to share. Especially someone who looks like me. It's not the traditional. It's not. the tradition. They're trying to make it more of the, norm to see, but um yeah. I just want to give my viewpoint so that if someone else is looking forward to doing that, then they don't get so bottled or bogged down. Another thing is that if you don't win, that's okay. No one honestly, this is what I have to tell people, okay? There's a lot of pageants that I did not win, but I was the most memorable. And because I was the most memorable, I got the advancement. So that's what you have to be, the best person that you can possibly be in your life at right at that moment. Be the best, shine, stand. That's how you're going to stand out, and that's how you're going to go above the competition. That's how you're going to go above the rest. There's another person that's that got a higher score, and that's okay. Be the best person that you are so you can get the opportunities that are for you, because once again, this only lasts for 365 days. So yes, I'm going to get off of here. Hopefully, something I said or done will help you on your journey. Please stay tuned to Journey to Jerusalem. Bye.